Good morning and welcome to Living Local 15. I'm your host, Jessica Williams. Thank you for joining me today. We have a great show for you, so let's get started. First up, calling all men in our community. It's time to gather for an empowering men's conference. That's right, New Covenant Church is holding their annual men's ministry conference called Men of Armor, and they are approaching 20 years. So I speak with Pastor Luther and their men's ministry director, Jay Chapman, about this event and how you can attend. Then it's Wealth Wednesday with Foster Financial, and I chat with Caleb Doan about the Gross Domestic Product Report. What is that? Well, we'll let you know. And later, we're going to learn about top products that will help you get a good night's rest from our Best Reviews team. That and more happening now.
Fashion, food, and fun. You're watching Living Local 15 with your host, Jessica Williams.
New Covenant Men's Ministry is hosting a men's conference on May 31st through June 2nd. The Men of Armor Gear Up Conference will have speakers from across the country, and registration is now open. Here to share more about this event is New Covenant Pastor Luther Whitfield and Jay Chapman, the Men's Ministry Director. Hello.
Hello.
How are you guys doing?
Thanks for having us.
Yes, absolutely. I'm excited to learn about this conference. This is an event that's needed. I like you guys say gear up. So you're preparing the men to gear up for the next chapter of their lives in this year.
Absolutely.
Yes. So let's start off by learning a bit about New Covenant in your church, Pastor.
Yes, New Covenant will soon be 20 years old. And we have done this conference for every year. And so normally our men's conference, we take them up to Gull Lake up in Michigan and have about close to 100 men that'll show up. This year we wanted to do something different. We wanted to bring it home. And so we are really excited about having the opportunity to bring this caliber and this variety of speakers to speak directly to men to Fort Wayne. And so every year I've had, for the past 2 years rather, I've had the privilege to go to Phoenix, Arizona and be with Pastor Sean Moore and their men camp, and to have him come and speak. Ted Howard from Buffalo, New York, and then Marcel Barnes, who was originally from Fort Wayne, now in Chattanooga, is coming back home. It's going to be just a powerful time, as well as some local speakers. Okay. And so we are excited to bring it to the home, bring it to our community, and to really service our men.
Yeah, that is great. And so, Jay, with you being over the men's ministry, I'm sure that you are so excited about being able to present this event. So what can men look forward to during this conference?
Well, you know what? First, we've just been planning this for the last couple months here. It's almost like our Super Bowl. We really look forward to putting together a conference where the men can be ministered to. In this particular year, we chose to make this setting a workshop style. So this is more of an intimate setting where the men could, ask questions and really dive deep into, their faith and how to really get armed with the Word of God. So we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's great. And you say armed with the Word of God. And so the scripture that's profound on this event is Ephesians 6:11 through 13. So, Pastor, give us a little word on how that scripture really does connect this event and how armoring our hearts and minds can affect our community.
Yeah, I mean, we're calling men to put on the full armor of God. Yeah. And when you look at what's going on in our world today, there's a lot of young men are dealing with a lot of issues. Yeah. And being men, we oftentimes we keep it to ourselves. We wear it. We don't want our wives to be upset. We don't want people to know that we're even struggling with issues. And so the purpose of this is to arm men and how to deal with those issues of life that weigh so many of them down that they keep to themselves. And so to bring in brothers who have expertise in certain fields. I'm so excited that we're also going to be announcing and sharing about our men's initiative that we're launching here at the church. Again, to address some of those various issues, whether it be alcoholism or drugs or whatever the case. I like what Jay says. We want to provide for this weekend a safe place where men can, open up their heart and share what they're going through. Because we really truly believe we have the answer through Jesus Christ. And again, I think God has given us some incredible help with men in the community that can aid those brothers.
Yes.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah.
And when you look at just being in a safe place like this, it makes you feel comfortable with being vulnerable. And like Pastor said, men, we hold back. We don't feel comfortable with expressing how we're doing and the struggles that we're going through. And that's the devil's scheme. So by putting on the full armor of God, it helps us stand firm against the devil. And when you surround yourself with like-minded men that share some of those same struggles, that can share testimonies on how they got through certain things, I think that's encouraging.
Yeah, it is. It is encouraging, and I love to see it because we need this type of representation for sure. And I know that the event is multiple days. And where will it be held?
It will be held at New Covenant, 3420 East Paulding Road. But the beauty of this as well is that, each night there will be a great time of, panel discussions, messages that are being shared, but it's also time for brothers to relax. So there's time for recreation, and believe you me, plenty of good eating. That
is so important.
And then on Saturday we are hosting a concert just to let our hairs down. But also we're inviting, for the first time, we're going to let the women come to the concert. And so we're excited about Judah Band that's coming all the way from Indianapolis to come and just electrify the place. So we want it to be a time where, again, you're talking about gentlemen who are coming from Phoenix, Arizona, from Chattanooga, from New York, as well as local. So here's an opportunity for brothers to get together and get to meet each other, connect with each other, and hopefully build some lasting relationships.
We're talking a full weekend. I mean, even Friday, we have a golf outing set up.
Nice.
So you get to kind of lay your hair down. So aside from praise and worship, prayer, getting fed in more of an intimate setting, we want you to be able to have fun as well. So golf, a full concert, basketball, flag football, so come out, let the men be men.
That's great.
Show off your stuff.
And on that one day,
show off your skills.
And the one day that the women can come, how does that work ticket-wise? Is the event open just to the community?
So
for
the event
concert?
is open to the community as well. We wanted to really open the doors for the women as well because Judah Band is a phenomenal band, and we didn't want to limit those guys from being able to really take advantage of that. So you can go to newcov.org. The tickets are only $20, which also includes dinner as well. So you get a lot for this $20 in this concert. So yes, women, please come out.
Wonderful. And so while I have you here, can you share about upcoming initiatives for the men's ministry for the rest of this year?
Yes. Well, you want to share your part two?
Well, yeah, we are partnering with Building Health a Stronger Family, Jonathan Watley and their organization. And Jonathan and New Covenant and our Impact Center have worked very close together in addressing already some of the issues dealing with family trauma that has affected so many, especially from the urban context. And so we're now partnering with them to launch our new initiative dealing directly with men. And so we're excited about announcing that at the conference and how gentlemen can plug in, get involved. And so again, we just don't want it to be a weekend of fun. You get all hyped, you get all, stirred up. And then all of a sudden, you're back to normal. We want something that's going to keep this thing going well after the conference is over with.
We want to stay connected so that we can continue to hold people accountable. We can continue to have prayer partners and stay engaged so that throughout their walk, we're with them. And that gives comfort to them. And it shows that the church is doing what needs to be done.
Yeah. That is great. Well, thank you both so much, Pastor Jay.
Yes.
We appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having us. Absolutely.
Yes, indeed. Thank you.
And if you would like more information about New Covenant Church and also learn about their men's ministry coming up in May, we'll have their website listed below, and I'll see you after the break.
Have an idea for the show? Want to find out how you can be a guest? Contact us at livinglocal15@wayne.com.
This segment sponsored by Foster Financial. Welcome to Wealth Wednesday, where we give you some holistic financial advice from our expert, Caleb Doan, who is the Vice President of Foster Financial. Good morning, Caleb.
Good morning.
How's it going?
It's going well. How are you doing?
Good. I'm doing good. Thank you. Okay, so a new report came out, and you have some new information for us about GDP.
Yeah, that's exactly
now
right.
First, what is that?
So GDP stands for Gross Domestic Product. It's essentially just a very broad measure of all the goods and services produced in the United States.
Okay.
So usually that's kind of the overarching statistic that people will look at for maybe the health of the United States economy, just to see how quickly we're growing. And of course that trickles down to how well are a lot of the big businesses doing, which is what we typically invest in.
Okay, and how often does this report come out?
Yeah, usually quarterly are kind of the big numbers that will come out. So Q1 just got released a little while ago, and it came out a lot lower than what people were expecting. So it came out at about 1.6%.
Okay.
People were expecting nearly a percentage point higher than that. So it was a pretty big difference. And so the market definitely reacted initially, pretty negatively to it. Over time, sometimes those numbers get revised and all that kind of stuff. So it'll take a while for the market to sort of fully digest all of that information. But I mean, the whole reason people are really looking at this right now is because the Fed is kind of trying to thread the needle for a lot of things. So one of their biggest goals is they really want to lower inflation. And they're doing that by raising interest rates. So making it, more expensive to take out debt and things like that. But at the same time, they're trying to not trigger a recession. So they're saying, hey, we want to raise interest rates, slow down the economy, but not slow down too much. And so anytime we get data out that says, hey, the economy might be slowing down too much, or we get data that says, hey, inflation isn't coming down like we want it to, markets react really negatively to that.
Wow. And so that definitely could impact how someone is really considering their retirement funds, what they're investing in, if they're going to be conservative or more liberal, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think, I mean, it's a really good time to take a look at the risk that you're taking in your investment portfolio, because I mean, not only is it an election year, but we've got all this stuff going on with the Fed and interest rates and the economy potentially starting to slow down a little bit. And the markets have still done really well over the last year. And so we're pretty close to all-time highs, which can be a really good time to take a look and say, how risky am I actually invested in? I saw the market, my portfolio went up a lot over the last year. Is it time to sort of harvest some of those gains and maybe get a little bit more conservative? Okay.
And so with this report, how does it really impact the market? Like what happens that people can really recognize and say, ooh?
Oh yeah. I mean, they'll definitely see the red on the screen for, I mean, just the S&P 500, Dow Jones, NASDAQ, all of that stuff dropped, lowered with all the reports coming out about the GDP coming in a little lower than expected. And so I think certainly people taking a look at the risk in their portfolios is one thing to do after this. Another one is just to reassess what your goals are for investing. Yeah. Because a lot of times when people are working, their goal is, I want growth in my account.
Right.
And so sometimes the market going down isn't necessarily a bad thing for that goal, because you're continually buying in at a lower and lower rate. And then if the market recovers, your accounts get to recover. But if your goal is, hey, I want to generate income from my account, I'm living off of what this account is producing, then the markets going down can be a lot more impactful for you.
Right.
And so if somebody's in retirement and their goal is now income, it's even more imperative that they kind of take a look at how risky they're invested.
Yeah, and that's a good point, because sometimes people can kind of slide in while the market's low. So should they do that research in advance to kind of see, like, okay, if it does drop, this is where I would want to be more risky at, or should they base that decision strictly on this report?
I think probably the best strategy is what we call dollar cost averaging. If somebody is kind of in that accumulation phase of retirement planning where they're still working, they're contributing to an account, and dollar cost averaging is just, hey, I'm going to contribute the same amount every single week or every single paycheck. And oftentimes this is how people have it set up in their 401k. It just automatically contributes, and therefore if the market goes down, the $100 that you're contributing buys a little bit more because everything is slightly cheaper. And if the market goes up, it buys slightly less. And so that's one of the best strategies to kind of lower your overall, what they call cost basis, when you're in that accumulation phase. And then if you're somebody in the kind of retirement income type phase of, their retirement savings, one of the things that's important is, hey, maybe ask your financial advisor, what are the strategies we're using to hedge the risk in my accounts? What are we doing to hedge against a possible recession or against, the markets having a downturn? And hopefully there's a really good answer to that. That's one of the things that I love when clients ask is, hey, what are we doing to possibly hedge against this? Because then we have a whole list and we can say, hey, these are all the things that we're doing in your account.
All right, well, you're the perfect person to ask about hedging and all of that. So thank you so much for coming in and sharing about this new information.
Yeah, thank you.
And if you would like information about Foster Financial, they do offer complimentary consultations. So we'll have their phone number listed below, and I'll see you after the break. This segment sponsored by Foster Financial.
Follow us on social media at Living Local 15.
Getting a good night's sleep, having a balanced diet, and optimizing workouts are just a few ways you can actually keep your health and wellness on track. Jessica Wills is standing by with the top products that will help you do just that. From consumer resource BestReviews.com.
Whether you need to get more sleep, improve your eating habits, cut down on stress, or just carve out more time for yourself, it's important to have the right products to set you up for success. And joining us now with products for your health and wellness is Senior Director of Content Operations from BestReviews, Jacob Palmer. Jacob, so good to see you here.
Thanks so much for having me. I think we've got a lot of the fundamentals covered. So there's a little bit of something for everybody.
So what did you start with today?
So first off, we've got the food huggers here. And this is so perfect for us at BestReviews because we are obsessed with making sure that people don't waste money. And one way that people do waste money is when they're trying to commit to eating a little bit healthier, they end up buying a lot of fresh foods, which is great. What's great about the design of these too, especially the avocado specific ones, is that they're set up so that the pit has a space itself. And as people who love eating avocado will tell you, the pit is what keeps it fresher. So if you can keep that as the side that you hold on to, you're able to make it stretch that much further.
This is so cool. We know that avocados are so expensive. I didn't even know that these existed. I need this in my life. I'm always saving my avocados, and I just kind of end up scraping the brown off the top. So no, none of that. We're going to use these. All right. Well, you also need to always keep hydrated. So what's special about these bottles here?
Yeah, so this is from one of our favorite brands, and the Owala is one of our absolute favorite. This one that we have with us today, it comes in different sizes, as you can see. Perfect for a hike because it's handheld. You don't have to carry around a big tumbler. Handheld, very easy. And then it's also got some cool features with it, where on the top there, you can choose between whether you want to go from the gulp feature or the sip feature. So depending on how much you're working out, depending on what you're looking to accomplish there, you can get the right amount of water too. So they're really thinking of everything
They're
here.
really thinking about your hydration needs. All right, what's next right here?
So this is an emergent technology. It's the DNA Vibe, and it uses red light therapy. This is an awesome, cool new technology that we've been testing out. And for the people who work out a lot and are really trying to unlock that next level, they found that it is a pretty effective product for that as well.
Love that. Yes, we're hearing so much about red light therapy and just how great it is for your body. But something else you need if you're working out a lot is you need some good sleep. So what do you have for me that's going to help us get those Z's?
Yeah, and at the top of the segment, I talked about, how important it is that we cover all of these different things. So we've got a couple items here that are awesome for it. Number one is another kind of emergent technology, and is a weighted sleep eye cover. They call it the Sleep Stone Mask, and it comes with some products inside of it that help you kind of relax.
Ooh.
You can put it in the
Wait, I gotta feel
freezer
this.
and cool it down, and then it really helps you just kind of drift away a lot easier. And it's something that our testers really appreciate, especially if you're having issues with stress and anxiety and things like that. Being able to just add something that allows you to just kind of just sink into your bed at night really does make a difference.
I can feel the relaxation, and it's not even on my face. Like, I love that. A little weight, you put it over your eyes, and then these are so soft. Tell me about these.
Perfect for the hotter months ahead. These are cooling sheets. So, especially I think people will have a hard time with getting sleep in the summer more than most other ones. And you don't want to be having to crank the AC overnight or anything like that. That gets expensive really fast.
Jacob, thank you so much. All of these are going to help us put our health and wellness at the forefront and just make it easier. You need those tips and tricks, so thank you.
Yeah, a little gadget always helps.
Absolutely. For more on these products and others, you can head to bestreviews.com or scan that QR code that you see right there on your screen.
Best Reviews is owned by our parent company, Nexstar. You can find more on the products and where to buy them on WANE.com.
Living Local 15, proudly driven by the Kelly Automotive Group.
Well, that's our show for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, you can always catch up on episodes and segments of Living Local 15 by going to WANE.com, downloading the WANE app, and also checking us out on YouTube. And I'll leave you with this. It's never too late to live your best life, so start living it today. And I look forward to seeing you here tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Content segments during today's Living Local 15 were paid for by these sponsors.